they've spent too much time thinking about process and too little time thinking about outcomes. And here's what that means concretely. Right? Process over outcomes is a world where California authorizes $33 billion to build a high-speed rail system that doesn't exist. Process over outcomes is a $1.7 million public toilet in the city of San Francisco because the procedural kludge to build public restrooms in that state is so massive that it costs almost $2 million to add a public toilet. It's a world where just last week, the mayor of Chicago bragged on Twitter that the city spent $11 billion on 10,000 affordable housing units. You can do the math. That's $1.1 million spent per affordable, quote unquote, housing units. Over the last few decades, Democrats have associated success with how much money they can spend and not with how much they can actually build. And you can see people voting against them not just in quadrennial elections, but every single week and month of the year they're voting with their feet. People are leaving California and leaving New York and leaving Minnesota and leaving Illinois so quickly that by 2030, all of those states will collectively lose, at the current rate, about 10 electoral votes. And that will make it much harder for Democrats to hold power in the future.
And are the red states getting it right? Because lots of those New Yorkers who have gone to Florida would argue Florida's roads work, this works, that works. Is it true, or is that just part of a political narrative?
They're getting it right on some things, not everything, right? And look, if Donald Trump and J.D. Vance were trying to bring the Texas housing policies to the country, Democrats would be in real trouble because Texas actually does build dramatically more housing in Houston.
How do they get it done?
By making it possible to build a house. It's not that hard. Like, this is one of the crazy things.
And this is about regulations.
This part's about regulations. But I do want to say, because I think people always think of, we've effectively polarized regulation, right? People think about deregulating the market as a conservative thing, regulation as a liberal thing. Often what we want to do here is deregulate the government. I hear a lot from my leftist friends. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Nobody seems to, but we've made it impossible for the government to build things because we have choked the government's capability to act in regulation. You ask, why is China? China's got lots of problems. I don't want to be China. Why have they built 23,000 miles of high-speed rail in the time California could not build 500? Why in Europe could they build it in Spain? Could they build it in Germany? Could they build it in pretty much any country you could think of? In Japan, you can board high-speed rail. This stuff isn't impossible. In San Francisco, I mean, the stories you hear, and I lived there, the stories you hear about what it takes to build an apartment complex, you basically can't. We made it illegal. Building apartment complexes, it's not technology we don't have, it's process that we have made impossible. And